We're back with another video, man. Today we're going to discuss Carson Wentz being traded to the Indianapolis Colts. If any of us NFL fans, we saw this coming from a mile away. You can't play like hot garbage for most of the season. Not even most, for all of the season. You can't not take the last snap for your team 4 out of your first 5 years in the league. You can't not win the playoff game after getting paid $130 million and been the number 2 overall pick. That wasn't going to work. You can't get outplayed by a rookie quarterback. That couldn't work. So he got traded. It's about time. I mean, finally, it was writing on the wall, right? But let's discuss it in further detail. Carson Wentz has just got traded for a 3rd round pick and a 2nd round conditional pick, which can turn into a 1st round pick if he plays 75% of the snaps, or at least plays 70% of the snaps and they make the playoffs. I mean, to be honest, the Colts gave up too much. The Colts gave up too much because he's not worth all of that right now. You can't lead the league in turnovers, sacks, fumbles, and still not have any type of playoff cachet. When you have 3 playoff passing yards, when Derrick Henry has more playoff touchdowns than you got an issue. Not even just touchdowns. When Derrick Henry has more playoff passing touchdowns than you know you have a problem. So let's be honest with that, right? The Colts did give up, the Colts gave up too much. I just said that. I think he would have been better off. They would have been better off giving up a 3rd round pick. I can see a 3rd round pick. A 2nd at most, but even then, a 2nd is too much for a quarterback with his injury history. Based off, he played like the worst quarterback in the NFL. Let's be honest. He was the worst quarterback in the NFL last year. And on top of that, the money, I wouldn't have gave up more than a 3rd. The 3rd they gave up is fine, but they gave up a 2nd and that could turn to a 1st. That's a lot. I mean, that is solely out of just being a fair team, because they know if Carson Wentz is their franchise quarterback, he'll be worth the 1st, right? So they're just okay. Hey, what if he is good? But what if he isn't? We've let Ryan Tannehill trick a lot of people. That isn't the norm. You don't just be bad and then go to another team, become a Pro Bowler, take your team to the AFC Championship game. That didn't just happen, right? You got Drew Brees with the shoulder injury years ago that happening, but that was more injury related. Drew Brees was a Pro Bowler and was pretty good before that. But Ryan Tannehill went from a 0 to a hero. I wouldn't bank on that with Carson Wentz, because the thing with Carson Wentz is this. Carson Wentz's issue wasn't, let me say, his team wasn't amazing, right? We can say the team wasn't amazing, but Carson Wentz was leading the league in turnovers from a clean pocket. Carson Wentz was throwing the most clean pocket interceptions. Carson Wentz was the least accurate he had the worst on-target percentage in the NFL from a clean pocket. You see what I'm saying? So these are not just team reasons he played bad. Even the years before, I say years ago, in 2018, after the 2017 run, let's get into that real quick. The 2017 run with Carson Wentz, right? In 2017, Carson Wentz and the Eagles had the easiest strength of schedule in the NFL. That was the year Ezekiel Elliott was suspended. Redskins were terrible. The Giants were terrible. They had the easiest schedule in the NFL. They had the last place schedule from losing so many games in 2016. Well, guess what happens? 2017 rolls around. They have the number 1 O-line in football. They have 4 All-Pros on the O-line. You had Zach Ertz in his prime. Top 3 tight end. You had a top 3 defense. You had a top 3 run game. You had Frank Wright, Doug Peterson, John DeFilippo, and the coaching staff. You had Torrey Smith, who still had a little speed on him. Aguilar, he was young, he had some speed. And you had Alshon, who was still pretty good at the time. So pretty much you had a perfect team around Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz only had 60% completion percentage, even in that 2017 year with all that help. The reason why Carson Wentz was a quote-unquote MVP candidate was in the red zone, Doug let him throw it a lot. So he had a lot of touchdowns. He was good on third down as well. But when you start realizing it, you look at his career, Carson Wentz is 7-25 against teams that finish 500 or above. In 2017, they played two teams that finished above 500. Went in the 13 game span he played. They went 1-1. You know, actually they played 14. They went 2-2 that year. They quote unquote beat the Rams. He didn't finish it. They lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Seahawks, and they beat the Panthers. And ever since then, 2018, they had better schedules. He didn't play well. 2019, better schedules. He didn't play well. Until, guess what? At the end of the year in 2019, what happened? A easy schedule happened. And then, boom, Carson Wentz, our savior, is back. Well, that's what happened. Carson Wentz cannot win versus good teams. Good to great teams don't count on him. The only time he ever beats good to great teams is when he's a game manager. 2019, they ran the ball a lot versus Buffalo and Green Bay. They asked him to throw a minimum. He had less than 250 yards passing each game. I want to say maybe he had less than 200. They just hand the ball off, hand the ball off, hand the ball off. Red zone come, play action, hit a little slant, wide open slant. That's how it happened with Carson Wentz. To me, he's not that good of a quarterback. I've never been a big Carson Wentz fan. I'll do another video breaking it down, going into more details, but that's the spill of it. The Colts, they overpaid, but I understand why they did what they did. It'll be interesting to see what's going on. The fit works, obviously, with Frank Reich. My big thing right now is the biggest thing a quarterback needs in the NFL is functional accuracy. Carson Wentz is not accurate. Carson Wentz does not process the game well. Carson Wentz is not fast. He is not athletic anymore. I think he gained too much weight. The ACL, you could blame that, but honestly, quarterbacks have had ACLs. Deshaun Watson has torn his ACL twice, and he's back. He tore his ACL his rookie year in the NFL, tore his ACL in college, and he shook back like it's nothing. Carson Wentz just maybe didn't take it as well. Maybe he didn't have a good surgeon. Maybe he was eating the Twinkies. Who knows? But guess what? He's not the same. So Frank Reich can redeem him. I do another video where we break down the fit with Carson Wentz and the Colts. But that's just my initial thoughts on the trade. This is a great thing for the Eagles because Jalen Hurts, he's much better than Carson Wentz. As soon as he got in, he improved the Philadelphia Eagles. And before you say completion percentage, passer rating, he was pushing the ball down the field a whole lot for a rookie quarterback, which was astounding. The Eagles' average yard per play when Jalen Hurts was in was top 10 in the league. I want to say it was ranked number 7 with him in there. So he was making it happen, man. He was making it happen. Obviously, the O-line and, the receivers, they weren't great for him either. But when he got in there, that was a new team. That was a great, I don't want to say great offense because they weren't scoring as many points as they should have scored, but he gave them a chance with all that going against them. So I think they'll probably draft Kyle Pitts, reload this offseason. The Eagles got a good one in Jalen Hurts, man. The Eagles definitely won that trade. Hey, man, this your boy Woke. Thank you all for sticking in with another YouTube video, man. I think I got a good setup now. I'm be making these videos more consistently. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hear the real about what's going on in the NFL. I'm gonna be hitting some other sports too, man. We're gonna learn, we're gonna grow. Y'all tell me what you like to hear, and we're gonna get there. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time.